Hey guys, it's Melanie. Welcome back, or welcome if you are new. I hope you are having a fantastic day. In today's video, I am going to be sharing some first sniff impressions of some new Kringle Reserve fragrances that are going to be launching over on the Kringle Candle website on September 18th at noon Eastern Time. I will also have this information in the description box right below this video here, so if you're curious, reference that description box. I will also put a link down there of where to shop with Kringle Candle, and I will also put my discount code Melanie15 down there. If you want, you can apply that discount code the day these fragrances launch and save yourself at least 15% off of your purchase. So today's video is just going to be the first sniff impressions. This box is still sealed. I brought my little opener in here with me, so we're gonna open this box together and I am going to sniff through these candles, give you my kind of initial feelings about the fragrances themselves. And then prior to the actual launch, probably a day before, I will upload a initial post-burn review video where I share my thoughts in terms of how the fragrances transformed once I actually lit them. We'll discuss the strength and the throw, and then of course the initial overall burn quality. So I have kind of looked through the descriptions here that were sent my way, and I am definitely very curious about a couple of these, and there are also one or two scents that I'm a little bit like, I don't know, how's that gonna smell? So we're gonna go through all of this today. So yeah, you guys, let's get into it. Let's see what my reaction is to these 6 new fragrances that are going to be launching on September 18th. So I'm going to go ahead and I am going to open this box here. I'll open it off camera because I have a feeling that I'm gonna have to dig through some packing peanuts here as well. So I will do that off camera, but I will be back here in a minute and we are gonna start sniffing through these, and I'm gonna give you my true first sniff impressions. Sometimes I'm really impressed and sometimes I'm a little perplexed. So we'll see how it goes this go around. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start sniffing through these Kringle Reserve fragrances. The box has been opened. The packing peanuts have been shoved off to the side, and we are ready to begin sniffing these Reserve candles. But before we do, Kringle also kindly sent me the Holiday 2025 collection in this box as well. I am going to be doing a whole separate first sniff impressions for the holiday candles in a couple of days here. Now, the holiday collection is launching on the same day as the Reserve collection is, but I am not going to be sharing the initial post-burn reviews for the holiday candles quite yet. Honestly, I feel like September seems just a little early to begin burning holiday candles. I am going to begin burning them, but probably not until a little bit later in September here. So I hope to have some initial post-burn reviews for you towards the beginning of October for specifically the holiday fragrances. I just really want to focus on the fall reserves first. So I will get those holiday reviews out for you, but I really, like I said, I'd rather focus on the fall candles right now, and then we will get to Christmas candles very, very shortly, I promise. But anyway, I did want to let you know that I did receive them in this box, and we'll start sniffing through those here in a day or two. I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to film the holiday first impressions today, but we'll see. At any rate, you will see those here shortly, so stay tuned. But let's go ahead and dig into these reserve fragrances. Now, I can't actually see the labels here, so I'm just gonna start grabbing and we'll both be surprised together what we get. Ooh, it looks like we are gonna start with spiced tobacco and cedar. So this is the label for spiced tobacco and cedar. Just a really pretty leaf motif. I like the contrast of the black with the gold leaves. I think this is a very kind of striking label here. I am not going to read you the fragrance notes from the bottom of the jar here. I'm going to read them from my little cheat sheet here because this has them divided by top, middle, and base notes. So anyway, if you're wondering why I'm reading from my phone instead of from the bottom of the jar here, that's why. All right, so the notes for spiced tobacco and cedar are bergamot, mandarin, and violet leaf as our top notes. Lily of the Valley, spiced rose, and patchouli embers for the middle notes. And then black amber, cedarwood, and musk for the base notes. This is one of those fragrances that I'm a little iffy about only because of the Lily of the Valley in here. I can enjoy Lily of the Valley, but it tends to be kind of, I would say, borderline headache inducing for me in some cases. Sometimes it's done really well and it's very enjoyable, and other times I just think, no, it's too much. Also, I tend to think of Lily of the Valley as more of a spring type of floral note. Rose, I think, is maybe a little bit more universal in terms of being applicable during, you know, different times of the year. But I think specifically Lily of the Valley just kind of reminds me of a more springy type of floral note. So, yeah, I just was like, how's that gonna work? Especially with some of these other notes, like the patchouli embers. Also, for this being called spiced tobacco and cedar, there is no tobacco actually listed here. So, is this going to give us tobacco magically? Let's see. Oh, interesting. It does have a hint of tobacco without tobacco leaf actually being listed in the actual notes. I actually wonder if it's the patchouli embers here that is giving me that tobacco vibe. I don't think I've ever seen patchouli embers listed as a fragrance note for Kringle, and this smells very different from the other typical patchouli fragrances that I'm used to from Kringle. Kringle either does a really nice, beautiful perfumey patchouli, or they will do a really earthy, like dirty hippie patchouli. But patchouli embers, I've never experienced. But I think I'm smelling patchouli embers here. It actually, I think, is one of the more prominent notes. I do smell that reference to the spiced rose. It's kind of actually more like a slightly peppered, older rose type of fragrance. I feel like I smell some pepper here. It's not listed, but I feel like I'm smelling that for sure. Black amber. I don't know that I'm getting amber at all right now, but I definitely am getting some cedarwood. I'm getting some musk. And bergamot, yeah, sorry. Okay, yeah, when I rub the wax, I smell that bergamot just a little bit more, which makes me think that when I actually light this, I'm gonna get more of that perfumey bergamot for sure. But violet leaf, no, not really right now, nor do I smell mandarin. Bergamot, yes. Mandarin, no. It's fascinating how this really does give it gives off a tobacco vibe without it being actual tobacco. It's like a sweeter, almost more like pipe tobacco. sorry, Alf, but Alf is taking a nap in my lap right now. So if you're wearing your earbuds and you're like, what is that noise? That's my dog snoring. He's a pug, so they're noisy little creatures. Anyway, very interesting. I don't dislike it, but I don't know that I really like it either. I feel like I'm really neutral about this fragrance. Nothing about it makes me go, ugh, but there's nothing about it that makes me go, either. So, I don't know. I think we're gonna have to light it. We're gonna light it regardless, so we'll see how it turns out. What's this next one? Ooh, Fog and Embers. This label, okay, you guys. This label is just the epitome of a cool, foggy fall morning in the hills. Ooh, it's so pretty. Look at this label. Look at those colors. Oh, it just makes me happy. Fall, man. I don't know why we have any other seasons. I mean, I also love winter, but we don't need summer. We don't need spring. Those are silly seasons that are just way too warm. All right. The notes for Fog and Embers are, at the top we have Amber and Cypress. Amber. Amber is back. Is Amber back big time? Sorry, I'm just looking through the different... Yeah, Amber is back. Amber is back in full force again. All right, so sorry, let's start over. Top, Amber and Cypress. The mid notes, aromatic and fern, and then at the base we have moss and amber. This, I think, is going to either be really fresh and outdoorsy, or it's gonna be kind of a masculine perfumey fragrance. I don't know which way this one's gonna go, so let's see. Ooh, a combination. This is a combination of both. This is really interesting. This is an interesting fragrance. First of all, Amber, yeah, she is present and she is killing it in here. This is that perfumey, warm, resinous amber. So yes, this does have a perfumey vibe, but also at the same time, it smells like a fresh outdoorsiness as well. This is interesting. Cypress, yep. Aromatic. I feel like the aromatic here is giving a cool, like fresh, like fall air type of vibe. Fern. There is a little bit of a green here. I guess you could say it's the fern. Moss. Could also be the moss, I guess. But yeah, quite a bit of amber. Amber is listed twice in this one, and it's pretty amber forward. I like it, but I also really like that resinous amber note that Kringle tends to, I guess you could say, overdo. I say this, I kind of joke about this a lot, but I feel like someone at Kringle got a really good deal on like amber oil, and they are just putting it in literally every other fragrance. It seems to work most of the time, so it's okay, but I do think it's funny how frequently they utilize amber in their different blends. But the more that I smell this, the more that I really like this, you guys. This is delightful. Very kind of cool and fresh, but still perfumey. It's still gonna be perfumey. Listen, if you're one of those people that hates the perfume vibe that some of these Kringle fragrances have, you're gonna wanna skip this one. It's not gonna be your thing. I don't want you to be disappointed by it. But man, do I like this. This is gonna be a great fall bedroom fragrance. That is gorgeous. And if it smells exactly like that burning, I might need more of that. Let's see what we have next. Ooh, okay. This one, because of the label, I think some people are really gonna like enjoy this one. It's the Midnight Oud. Oud is also one of those fragrance notes that if you're passionate about it, you probably aren't going to be able to help yourself. But look at this owl. Oh, isn't that pretty? We actually had an owl that landed on a tree in our backyard several years ago. This thing was massive, and it was a tree right next to our covered patio, and it was a Japanese maple, so not a super huge tree. This thing was so big that it like weighed the branch down, and it just sat there staring at us. It was a little terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, should I take the dogs inside? And Craig was like, I think they'll be fine. But yeah, the owls are quite large. If you've never seen one in person, they are substantially bigger than you think they are. Anyway, this is a beautiful owl, very, very pretty. So let's see what this amber-eyed beauty here is supposed to smell like. Where are you at? Okay, Midnight Oud, get ready. Amber. Amber and wood are at the top. The mid notes are fir needle and patchouli, and then at the base we have tonka and wood. Now this is one that I think I'm gonna like because it's got the amber, it's got the patchouli. I do love a good tonka. So I don't know, I feel like this is probably gonna be a good one, but let's see. Ooh, okay, that's not what I was expecting. Something's a little funky, and I can't really tell what it is. There's something sweet in here. Like there's a sweetness that's coming out. A tangy sweetness. It's a little weird. Maybe a sweet wood? A sweet woody note? Do I smell the amber? I do. That amber it's giving a little perfume here. The patchouli is also, is it? It's a slightly dirty patchouli, but not straight up like, you know, digging in the dirt patchouli. It's not quite that intense. Sorry, this hair, something is poking me in my eyeball and it's driving me nuts right now. I can't figure out which hair it is. Yeah, interesting. I feel like it's, I don't know what I think about this. I'm not like, ooh, but I'm not yay about it either. It's truly like a, I don't know type of reaction. I think this, so this, it might be that tonka. I smell that tonka, but this tonka smells sweeter than what I'm used to. Normally tonka to me smells like a deeper, darker vanilla, but without really any sweetness to it. This is like that deeper, darker vanilla, but with some sweetness in it. It's not bad. Okay, it's not bad. But I also don't know that I love this either. I think I need to light this. But it is leaning just a little perfumey because of that amber and that specific patchouli that's used here. So once again, if you are anti any reference to perfume, this is giving me just a little bit of that. Just giving me a little tiny bit of it. Okay, we're gonna put this in the like, I don't know how to feel about it yet category. Let's keep going. Pumpkin Oud, okay. So here we have Pumpkin Oud, a little different from the Midnight Oud, but let's see what we have here. So looks like we have a little bird's nest, and then there's a pumpkin in the bird's nest, and then some other pumpkins stacked on top of other pumpkins. I do love a good pumpkin display. This one's very cute. I like the mix of the orange and the white pumpkin here. All right, at the top we have spice and surprise, amber. The mid notes we have ginger and cinnamon, and then at the base we have cedar and pumpkin. I don't think this is gonna smell gourmand, so I'm not expecting that. I'm honestly expecting another slightly perfumey, maybe slightly spicy with that ginger type of fragrance. Oh, that is fantastic. Oh my gosh, this pumpkin. Oh, this is good. Oh my gosh. I love the pumpkin. I love the ginger in here. It's not overly spicy. Cinnamon, yeah. Maybe some nutmeg. Tiny bit of clove, just a little bit of clove. A woodiness, yes, there is a woodiness to this as well. But I like this. This is not your typical pumpkin though. Listen, if you are a pumpkin aficionado, if you like to try pumpkin scents of all kind, even if they're not crazy edible smelling, you're gonna want to try this. There are edible aspects to this, but it's also not an outright gourmand. But I really like this. I think I love this. So far, I think this is number one. I am going to rank these for you guys because I feel like a lot of people like rankings. So don't worry, I'll do it this time. All right, Forest Noir. Ooh, this label, a mossy forest floor, is, I think, one of my favorite things in life. I just think it looks really peaceful. Look at this label, you guys. Isn't that pretty? Look at it. Look at it. Oh my gosh. This makes me want to go on a hike. Although not alone. Fun fact, one of my worst fears in life is being mauled by a cougar. Not even a bear, a cougar, for whatever reason. That's what freaks me out. I have seen cougars out in the wild before, and that might be why cougar comes to my mind. But yeah, now, don't walk through the forest alone. It's the moral of that story. Okay, this is one, however, that I'm also a little bit about because it's got lime. I don't love lime. Okay, at the top we have lime, lemon, and ginger blossom. The mid notes are fir balsam, cedar wood, and clove. And then at the base we have leather, oud, amber, and patchouli. So, oh, please don't be limey. It's limey. It's limey. Not horrific. It's not horrific. I can smell that lemon as well. It's a definite mix of lime and lemon. But that oud is ouding, and this is oudy. If you are looking for that true, incensey oud note, this is where you're going to find that. It's like fresh slams into oud with that lime and lemon combo, and then that incensey oud vibe for sure. Cedarwood, yep. Clove, no. Fir balsam? In the way background. There is a tree note. It's in the way background though. Amber, yeah. Patchouli, yeah. Both are the perfumey versions. Leather, a little bit. More of like a white leather, not quite as aggressive as a more mahogany leather type note. Ooh, the more that I smell this, the more that lime is coming to the forefront. I wish they would have left the lime out. Yeah, very limey. Do you agree, buddy? He's just passed out on my lap right now. Okay. Okay, as much as I love this label, this one is, I don't love it. I don't love it. If it was just the lemon, I think it would be a better fit for me, but okay, this last one, I knew this was coming. This is the one that I was most actually excited about when I first heard about the release of this collection because we needed more gourmand. Kringle really, I feel should have released more with the fall collection this year. Because they took away the country candle line, I really feel like we're missing enough selection from Kringle for the fall this year. I hope that in the future that they consider releasing more than 6 scents for the seasonal Kringle collection. I know they will typically always do some kind of limited edition collection. I know they will typically do a reserve collection for the season as well, but for what it's worth. Anyway, let's move on. Let's read the notes for this one because I'm super excited about it. Okay, ambered, apple, and walnut. Of course, amber is going to be making an appearance here once again. At the top, we have sweet apple, peach, and caramel. The mid notes are praline, coffee, and walnut. Like, we're just listing off the most delicious things. At the base, we have buttered woods, whipped mocha, brown sugar, and then our friend amber. So, geez, Elf. Ooh, okay. Very interesting. Did I show you the label? It's a caramel apple with nuts. Doesn't it look delicious? This is one of my husband's favorite treats. This man will lose his ever-loving mind if we walk past a store that sells caramel apples, or if we're at the fair. Like, he has to have a caramel apple. I don't know how his teeth deal with this. It's really hard for me to eat these. I feel like the caramel on a caramel apple is just extra sticky, but anyway, he's never had any fillings come out, so that's the label. There's a really nice green apple note here. It's a very distinct green apple, followed by an immediate nuttiness. There's a nice nutty note here. Peach? Yeah, there's a little peach here. Is there caramel? Yes. There's a small, like, on cold sniff, I would say 5% caramel. Not a lot, but it's there. It is there. Praline, yep, there's that nuttiness. And then also the walnut. I wouldn't say it's specifically walnut or praline. It's just a generic nuttiness in here. Coffee. Not really, although I hope maybe that coffee comes out when I'm burning it. The buttered woods. Okay, this is an interesting reference because there is something slightly woody here. Normally, I don't smell woodiness in caramel apples, so that one it's a little strange, but it seems to make sense within the fragrance. I don't smell anything referencing a mocha, whipped or not, but I do smell the brown sugar reference. And I do smell a little tiny bit of that, like, amber perfuminess. Again, it's very warm, it's very cozy amber, but it is taking what was a true gourmand and adding just a little something different at the end. Like, it's just like you catch it at the finish. But I love it. I love it. I really do. The more that I smell this, the more that I like this. I want to light this up right now. I love the green apple. I feel like we've seen a lot of apple notes from Kringle, but I don't know that we've, well, probably in the way past. There was a time, you know, when I was not reviewing Kringle, so there could have been something more green apple in the past, or I may have missed something that has come out in the last like 5, 6, 7 years, but I feel like mostly we get like a Honeycrisp, we get a Macintosh, we get like a Red Delicious type of note, but green apple, I'm not as familiar with when it comes to Kringle. But man, do I like it. I love it. Okay, I have two favorites. I am not going to be able to choose between the two because I really do love both of these. Number one, I am going to give it to the Pumpkin Oud and the Ambered Apple and Walnut. Two very interesting gourmands with some unique nuances, if you will. So those two, amazing. Next, I think I'm going to give it to the Fog and Embers. Fog and Embers will put in the number 2 slot. I know it's last, so that's easy. Sorry, hold please. Actually, I think I'm gonna give the number 3 slot to the Midnight Oud. I will do Spice, Tobacco, and Cedar for the number 4. And then bring it up the rear, like the way rear, because this has lime. And that's a bummer. But I kind of figured there would be one that I would just be like, about, and this is it, this is it. And it's unfortunate because I love the label. But it can't just be about the label. I have to like the fragrance, and it's just very limey. Listen, if you like lime, you are gonna be in happy camperland. I can tell you that. Anyway, those are my ratings. Those are my thoughts. Which one of these are you most interested? Let me know. Like I said, they are launching on the 18th at noon Eastern. So 9 a.m. here on the West Coast. And I will try to get these post-burn reviews out at least a day prior so that you can reference those, and hopefully that will help you make your decision if you are interested in purchasing any of these. I'm never going to put pressure on you, but if you're curious, those are my thoughts. I hope that this is helpful. If it was, be sure to give this video a big fat thumbs up. If you are new around here and you're interested in more home fragrance related content, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys being here. Thanks for listening to Elf. Just saw a log this entire video. He's gonna hate me because I'm gonna have to move him here to get up. But I appreciate you being here. Stay tuned for the holiday first sniff impressions coming up here shortly.